system loads polystyrene pellets into a machine called an extruder, adding pigments for colored plastic. The extruder heats the pellets until they melt, then forces the molten plastic through a die to shape a hard plastic sheet about 2 millimeters thick. They use molds to form this continuous sheet into plastic cups. First, the sheet passes through a 3-meter-long oven that heats the hard plastic until it becomes malleable. Then it enters the thermoforming machine, which simultaneously pushes and vacuums the sheet into the mold cavities, forming row after row of cups. The entire process takes just 3 seconds. The cups then travel to the trimmer, which uses a die to cut them off the sheet. The machine grinds up the leftover plastic and remelts it into new sheets, so there's no loss of material whatsoever. The trimmer feeds the cups directly to a machine that stacks them, then feeds them to a conveyor belt in one long line. The conveyor transports them to a machine called the lip roller, which reheats the cups just enough to make the plastic flexible. Then, as we see here in slow motion, it folds the rim over, forming a rounded lip. They also make cutlery from melted polystyrene pellets, as well as from polypropylene, a lighter, more flexible and less expensive type of plastic. The cutlery molds consist of 2 halves. You can see the difference in this fork mold. In one half, the utensil cavities are right side up, the fork prongs indented. In the other half, the cavities are upside down, the fork prongs raised. A plastic injection machine melts the pellets and injects the molten plastic into the mold. A built-in cooling system solidifies the form in about 10 seconds. The extracted cutlery drops to a conveyor belt that leads directly to the automated packaging equipment. For certain customers, such as fast food restaurants, the factory packages utensils individually. The automated wrapping machine cuts polyethylene film to size, heat sealing the ends. This factory also uses polypropylene pellets to make straws. The black beads are pigments to color the plastic. An extruder, a different one this time, melts the pellets, then forces the molten plastic through a circle-shaped die. As the long, continuous straw exits the extruder, it cools and hardens in a tank of chilled water. As it leaves the tank, a knife chops it into individual straws. They fall onto a conveyor belt, which transports them to the packaging line. Just like the forks, these straws will also be individually wrapped, but in paper, not plastic film. The wrapper machine feeds them one by one into a paper sleeve. Gears mesh the edges together, creating a crimped seal. The dies on this machine turn ordinary straws into flexible ones by forming a corrugated section that lets you bend the top of the straw toward your mouth. The machine compresses the corrugation to preserve the shape. Back to the plastic cups now. This factory can print customized designs in up to 6 colors applied simultaneously. Ultraviolet lamps built right into the printing press dry the ink instantly. Polystyrene is naturally transparent, but combining 2 grades of polystyrene creates plasticware that's semi-opaque and also highly flexible.